John, what better way to start VMware Explore 2025 than riding in an autonomous car?
You know, it's something to where I feel like some people said this moment would never come. You know, the technology wouldn't be there, but it's interesting because I feel like the future is always here. It's just not always evenly distributed.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I cannot believe that we are sitting here at Explore. We're driving in an autonomous car. You know, there's a lot of faith that goes into these things, but boy, there's a lot of tech behind this.
No, it's impressive with how this has come, and just looking across technology. You know, when you get bogged down in the individual minutia of, you know, networking and data centers and things, sometimes you lose sight of some of the cool solutions that get built on top of all these clouds and all this stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this kind of stuff, man. The edge computing area, the AI that happens, but also the security that's involved with all of this.
No, the technology's come forward so much across so many areas, and part of what I enjoy about coming here out for this conference is talking to customers, hearing the stories, hearing all the weird ways they're using our technology and building things out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the things I heard right before we came here was an AI use case I had not heard before. The NFL, like they're actually using AI in some of their broadcasts to analyze like the defense, for example. You know, like before a play actually happens, they can determine if there's going to be a blitz. You know, they can literally determine based on all the movements of every player what's going to happen in the play. And so not only are they using it for broadcast, but they're using it for coaching, for training. I mean, it's everywhere.
Well, and you know, being in Vegas, I think about, you know, also trying to analyze a bluff or something like that. I'm like, you know, you got people who, they come out here and they play poker and they're analyzing the bluff, but taking that to football, that's kind of interesting. Like you're trying to read the small movements. Is this a fake? Is this not? And having that and enhancing the commentary. I mean, I thought it was cool when we just got the ability to see where the ball was going, or in hockey, be able to track the puck correctly, because I could never track it. But
yeah, for sure. So John, VMware Explore 2025, what are you most excited about?
So the conversations I've been having have been a blend of talking about AI and new exciting use cases, but also just getting back to some of the core technology. I just had a really long conversation with a partner, and we were getting into memory management. You know, what's old is new. We're going through all the different memory saving features. Obviously, memory sharing being the new shiny one, but we were going through all the other stuff, transparent page sharing, the balloon driver, all this stuff, and remembering that, you know, where we've come from, where we're going is built on a foundation that's decades old.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited about all the announcements that are happening. I know, you know, we're talking about autonomous cars, we're talking about AI. VMware Private AI Foundation is now VCF Private AI, which is a service, and it's actually wrapped inside of the core VCF offering.
Well, instead of being AI being this one extra thing you go buy and do, it makes sense to have it to be just another service you consume. If the improvements and the capabilities that are getting built on top of AI across industries, it's important to be able to just find everything that is slowing between you and training that model or executing that inference in a creative way. It makes sense to close that out. It's also good to see Peppermill, my favorite 3 a.m. breakfast place, Pete.
Absolutely.
But no, we keep coming back here. I'm like, wow, I'm flying to Vegas again, you know, but the conversations change. You know, I still see a lot of old friends here. I see a lot of new partners. I see new capabilities. But I will say the vibe has definitely shifted this year.
Oh, yeah. I've spoken to a lot of customers, talked to a lot of partners already. And one of the things they said, the difference between last year and this year, was last year there was a little bit of like, what is VMware? What is Broadcom doing? Like licensing. There were a lot of licensing conversations. And that's not the case this year. Everybody's really focused on the tech this year. They're just trying to get things done. And I think that's exciting. There's definitely a really positive energy here.
Now, there's a lot more clarity in terms of where we're going, and the focus on VCF and, you know, delivering outcomes as quickly as possible, solving these problems has definitely increased significantly. And a lot of it has been, you know, talking to some of the channels, talking to some of the partners. They're like, how do we help the customer get that executed very quickly? How do we get the full stack of services? It's no longer like, well, there's this one little piece solution. I want to learn about this one feature. And people still want to learn about those features. The tech, those things still matter. But the platform adopting VCF almost seems an assumed thing in every conversation I'm having.
Absolutely.
In regards to that. This is not, last year there was still some skepticism of, okay, is VCF right for me or that? But now it's the people who hear, it's very much on, how do I get this as quickly as possible? This 9 thing looks amazing. You know, how do I upgrade, or how do I converge my environment into that? It very much feels like a sure bet, you know, to make a bad pun, you know, based on where we're at.
I like that. I like that. Well, yeah, VMware Explore 2025 is in motion. It's day one. I'm super excited to be here. I'm glad to be here with all of these subject matter experts and just talking to customers, partners, and getting the sense of community back together. I'm glad to do it with you, John. So cheers.
Cheers.